Hey guys, how you doing? This is Rick here with 2 Years to Jam. For this lesson, we're going to talk about bar chords. It's probably one of the first hardest things that you're going to learn how to do initially when you're learning how to play guitar. You start off with your straight open chords, and then the next thing you know, you're singing a song that says C sharp minor, and you see the diagram for it online, and you're looking to play it, and it sounds like that, and that's pretty common at the very beginning. Before explaining how to do a bar chord, I think that it's really important to understand exactly, just an easy way to think about the bar chord would be to, if we were talking about, let's say, string 6 bar chords. If you were to look at what an open E major chord looks like when you're playing that, in the open position right here, typically it's your first finger on fret 1 string 3, finger 2 fret 2 string 5, and finger 3 fret 2 string 4. If you replace each of those fingers instead of 1, 2, and 3 with your second finger, your third finger, and your fourth finger, you'll still have the same position. And what that does is it frees up your first finger, and your first finger, as you move down the neck, is going to mimic what the nut of the guitar would normally do for that chord. And that's all a 6-string major bar chord is. It's just a reflection of the same shape of the E major bar chord, and what you're doing is you're moving that shape down. I've been teaching these chords for a long time now, and one of the things that I used to teach it this way, where I would say just practice going like this with your first finger across all the strings, and I don't think that that's necessarily the best approach. The more I've thought about it and looked at everything, a lot of the notes that get muffled when I'm hearing my students play these chords, and probably the same way that I did it when I was learning, was through my second, third, and fourth finger. So now what I try to do for this would be, if I was, let's say, playing a 6-string major bar chord on fret 5, what I want to try to emphasize is learning how to make sure that your fingers are in the right position here. So finger 2 is going to be on fret 6 string 3, finger 3 is going to be on fret 7 string 5, and finger 4 is going to be directly below my third finger on fret 7 string 4. And then what I want to do initially is I want to listen to make sure that those 3 notes are going to come out and articulate properly, as well as the string below it. If I'm hearing this, means my second finger's dragging down. Sometimes you'll feel like a little buzzy feeling underneath your second finger. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a nice clean, those 4 strings are clean, and then try to take your first finger and point it out straight, and then bring it straight across all 6 of those strings. It's not going to happen instantly. It never does. Nothing on, when you're learning how to play happens, that moment when you try it. But I've found that to be a real effective teaching method with my students, and they seem to be able to grab the chord a little bit quicker. Number one, from understanding what we're talking about, where this is just your E chord, and it's just that same shape, and it's moved up the neck a little bit. And then the same way as if you were going to change from your E major chord to an E minor chord, when open position, it's the same idea here. If you were going from this position right here, and then you pop your second finger off, that changes that over to the minor shaped bar chord. So right here where I was just doing the last one in the 5th position, this is going to be for either the A major or the A minor chord for string 6. All I'm doing is I'm taking that same shaped chord, and I'm going to take my second finger and I'm going to pull it away. Listen to each one of those strings. A lot of times what will happen is students can actually, and this happened with me as well, like you'll be able to play your 6-string major chord, and then when you go to play 6-string minor chord, you go to play the notes, and string 3 is the one that you're not hearing, and that's the only note in that chord that's going to determine that it's going to sound minor or not. So when that happens, what I usually encourage my students to do is just try to move your finger ever so slightly, either up or down. You've got all these different, indentations in your finger, so what you want to do is you just want to move your finger back and forth just a little bit, just to find out where that, it's like you want to sort of find that spot where you can hear all of the notes and you can do it consistently. Once you actually have these chords down, then the idea would be, okay, let me, take my hand away. That's my 6-string major. Let me take my hand away. Let me go and play the 6-string minor. And you can move them around in, different locations on the neck. And below the video here, there's going to be a link to a PDF file that you can download that'll actually have the diagrams of the chords on there, as well as the different note positions to tell you exactly like when you're playing on this fret what that chord actually is going to be and stuff like that. So that's the lesson for the 6-string major and minor bar chords. Thanks a lot. Let me know if you have any questions.